Hello. So I'm just going to do a little short video. I have some stuff to do that I need to take care of in a couple minutes. That was a long video that I just put up. I was angry. And I did get kind of a satisfying resolution out of it. Unfortunately, something else, another fire popped up. So basically, I have to have some other lab tests. They bumped up, the specialist office bumped up my appointment to make up for what happened, basically. So that was satisfying. And now I have to have some more lab tests before my oncologist appointment. So I have to do that, and it's more aggravation and everything, but it's kind of a satisfying resolution to the whole thing. And my car's still not starting. I'm worried about it now because it might be an expensive thing to fix. It was not the fuse box, and I don't like tinkering with dirty stuff. With the way the entire day went, I wish I could have just slept the whole day because I'm very tired. And I had to do stuff. I had to try to change fuses on a car, which is, you know, some people enjoy that stuff. For me, you might as well have told me to stick my arms down the toilet. I don't like that kind of stuff. It's gross. It really is. And I I don't do car repair. So my oncologist is trying to round up all these different test results and everything. So she canceled my appointment on Tuesday, and now I have to reschedule it. And I have all of this stuff is so aggravating because I've already asked for time off from work, and now I have to redo it. And I'm probably not going to be able to work that day because of the way I asked for the day off. And it's annoying. It is really annoying. You know, it, it's very aggravating when they change things at the last minute like that. I think she's still mad at me for not having the surgery. And yeah, my phone is doing this thing where it's telling me I only have half an hour of space left again. I hate this. Uh, I want to play The Sims, and I haven't been able to play video games in months. I haven't had time. I haven't felt well enough to. And I feel like this is so unfair because I don't even know if I'm going to make it. And all I get to do is schedule doctor's appointments all day, and when I'm not working, and then when I'm working, I don't enjoy the job that I'm doing and all because it's not what I'm trained to do. And I guess I'm not the only one that's unhappy. I've read statistics that people are very unhappy in this country. And I don't want to be in this country. I don't want to. I think I'm at the point where if I don't have some kind of an answer about how she is planning on getting rid of the cancer in me, like in a couple weeks, if she's going to string me along playing games like this, because this is expensive, and I don't, have unlimited savings. I feel like they're playing games with me at that office at this point. If they don't have some kind of a resolution laid out, I'm just gonna leave. I'll sell stuff and I will leave. I am tired of it. You know, I was watching a video this afternoon about African Americans boycott. I don't know if I would call it a boycott, but sitting out the protest this weekend, and I can't say I blame them at all. I, the logic makes total sense. I always say survival before making a statement. You know, my mother was a war survivor. And what that means, that's not just some like, oh yeah, lived through the World War II era. No, my mother was in a concentration camp in World War II and received benefits from the German government because the Japanese government never acknowledged what they did. So that my mother was actually an official recipient of war benefits. That's what that means. And, growing up in that kind of a family and everything, it gives you a different perspective about wars, about protests, and about people's decisions whether they want to protest or participate in protests and everything. And I respect anyone that wants to sit it out at home this weekend. If that's what you want to do. If you want to have a cookout, if you want to clean up the local park, do it. By all means, do it. Because I don't intend to sit it out for 4 years here in the United States. And I don't blame you one bit if you don't want to go to a protest. I don't blame you. I did not go a few years ago. And I'm not talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about the one with the hats. I did not go to that because I was not feeling well and I did not perceive it as safe. And all the young introverts were there screaming and everything. That's not how you get things done. As much profound respect as I have for Martin Luther King, he got his doctorate from the college that I went to. Not the college, but the university. I don't think that's really what ultimately resulted in people getting civil rights. I think it was political machinations that President Johnson was doing. He wanted votes, and he saw that as an expedient way to get votes. And civil rights are always fragile. You can lose them as quickly as you got them. Jewish people learned that in Germany in the 30s and 40s. I think a lot of people are learning that here in the United States right now. So if you want to stay home this weekend, by all means do it. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think that there's anything to be gained by going to protests. It puts you in a vulnerable position. Yeah. I mean, if you feel like you're contributing to something by doing it, go ahead. I don't think I've ever gone to a protest. I've seen people coming back into the dormitory after they went to the protests and counter protests when I was in Boston University, when the Iraq War started, and all I saw were angry kids that were yelling at each other, including one that yelled at me about something that she had no proof that I did. She was just angry and spiced up from being outside in a charged mood and everything. And I wasn't even out there. You know, it makes people divisive and angry, and makes people do things that they would not normally do. So I don't see a need to participate in stuff like that. I'm not someone who is ruled by my emotions. That's just not who I am. You know, like I said in my last video, what I wanted to do was go and scream in that person's face. What I thought would be most productive was to do another thing. What I ended up doing was I found out who did it and let them know that I knew what they did. And they ended up giving me a much earlier doctor's appointment because of that. I was supposed to have my doctor's appointment today, but my car wouldn't start, so I'm going to be going there on Monday. That was a doctor's appointment that had originally been set on Friday. And that's how you solve problems like that, is you try to get things done to your advantage. Know your rights. Turn some ugly situation into something you can use to your advantage. That I'm an ENTJ and I know how to do that. Negotiate things in your favor. And our Myers-Briggs cousins, the ENFJs, they do that too. Negotiate things so that it can have a favorable outcome for you. It's not always a win-win. The person that did something wrong got to lose on their side. But I got the thing that was most beneficial to me, which was the earliest doctor's appointment I could possibly get. That's what benefited me the most. It was not getting somebody fired, but getting the earliest doctor's appointment I could get. That's a win for me. That's like a super win. Even more than getting somebody fired, although that would have been very satisfying. That's the Game of Thrones ending. But what I got was the ending that benefited me the most. You know, yeah, and I still got the bad mouth out of that woman. She's never going to see that video. And it doesn't bother me if nobody else watches it. I sent it to my ex-boyfriend because he likes that kind of stuff. He wants me to be more spicy and everything because he's a spicy ENFP. You know, and they love fights. I don't need drama like that all the time and stuff, but it's you know, I don't have all the time in the world tonight. I have stuff I have to do. So have a good night. And I think I'm finally going to get some rest. As you can see, I don't look good. I look a little bit tired. I have had a way busier day than I wanted. I was outside for like an hour changing fuses on my car. I felt like so tough doing that. And it didn't do anything. It solved absolutely nothing. And that was not satisfying at all. So, you know, at least I know now that the fuses are not the issue. That's not really a thing that makes me happy because I wanted the car to run. So, I'll see. Anyway, have a good night, and I'm still alive. So, you know, stay alive this weekend. Bye bye.